My name is Julia Amalia and I am a UX designer working in one of Norway's largest health tech companies. And today I will be showing you my UX/product design toolkit. My weapon of choice for a work laptop is the MacBook Pro 16-inch M1 chip. For personal use, I recently splurged to buy the MacBook Air 15-inch M2 chip. Both computers work really well, and I opted for a less powerful home computer simply because I don't really need all that power at home. And because I wanted something that weighed a bit less, because the other Mac, it's kind of heavy. I really value the bigger screen estate and it works perfectly when I'm traveling and stuff like that. But it's heavy, you know? You win some, you lose some. One last thing is that I do think that the MacBook Air could pass as a main computer, like a work computer. You would just need to be a bit more careful about how many processes you run at once. Okay, so for what software I use. For my day job, my toolkit is a bit smaller simply because we have to try and use the Microsoft suite whenever we can, and if we need new tools, they have to get approved. But we do have some really good tools. First of all, this may not come as a surprise, we use Figma. I am a big Figma fan, use it both at work and in my spare time. And if you're watching this, you know exactly what it does. But I use it for all things design, prototyping, making presentations, making like graphic designs, synthesizing insights, illustrating, making animated games. Hello, I even made a China chess once. It was awesome. So instead of going too deep into what Figma is, I actually want to talk a little bit about some of the plugins that I use. Here are the plugins. I want to give a shout out especially to Annotate Design, Ally, and Pexels. Annotate Design for creating beautiful, minimalistic, and super simple and fast annotations to your designs. Ally for checking the color contrast and whether it passes the requirements. And Pexels for fetching beautiful imagery fast. Highly recommend. Okay, so moving on. What AI products do I use? I only use ChatGPT, which I use for bouncing ideas back and forth, helping me write emails, messages, documentation, and stuff like that. It has really helped me level up my written communication, and I use it probably every single day. I haven't really found any other AI programs, apps, or plugins that speed up my workflow, so if you have any tips, please leave them in the comments below. Much appreciated. So moving on to what I think is the most exciting thing, user research. For user research, I use Google Forms and Microsoft Forms for sending out surveys and consent forms, but I've also used Acuity Scheduling for the consent form part, because the latter is actually a booking tool, which I also love to use when it comes to booking in participants for interviews and usability tests. It allows users to book themselves directly into your calendar, which is awesome, and it instantly creates a digital meeting and sends out confirmation emails as well as reminder emails before the session starts. You also have the option to give the consent form as part of the booking process, so you don't have to manually send out the consent form afterwards, and it's super beneficial if you want to use this to screen out participants who don't want to be recorded. Furthermore, Acuity Scheduling can be integrated with Squarespace, which I have found to be immensely valuable because I own a Squarespace site. So you can keep your branding and the users feel safe not being redirected to this URL, which is like super weird and shady. It did cost money. I think it's $16 a month, but I think it's worth it. Personally, I just subscribed to it when I needed it and then just stopped subscribed when I didn't. However, for my next session of interviews or usability testing, I am going to try to use Notion Calendar and their share availability functionality. It seems to do the job very well and it's free, so I'll keep you posted. For moderated usability testings and interviews, I'm a big fan of just using Google Meet or Teams. It works well. You have the ability to record, at least in Teams. Yeah, it works. It works fine. For unmoderated usability testing, I'm a big fan of Maze. I've only ever used this for personal projects and then actually the free version, but it has been enough for me and I really like it. Highly recommend it if you're looking for something that also has card sorting and stuff like that. For project management, I love using Notion. I use it both for their wiki functionality as well as for organizing personal design projects, and their ability to have pages within pages allows you to keep the content where it belongs, which is super beneficial. So all in all, super big fan, and if you haven't tried it yet, I suggest you give it a shot. However, I've only ever used Notion for personal projects. We are looking into using it at work now, if you might remember from one of my previous vlogs. However, it needs to go through the approval process, so I will let you know once we have tried it if it works. At work we use Azure. I don't hate it, I don't love it. If you have any tips, please let me know because I desperately need them. And that is it. That's the whole list of the things in my UX design toolkit. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, comments, or thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will answer as soon as possible. Thank you for watching and have a good day.